schools that encourage and teach the importance of abstinence as well as character issues in schools. Am I correct about that?
You're absolutely right. And with the change of administration, we've gotten even more strong support of that. The problem is that when abstinence money became available to the states, all of the states, the people who have been doing sex education for over 30 years, who have been doing what we call comprehensive sex education, or done something like this. We know abstinence is good, but since we all know you're not going to do it, we'll spend the next 9 weeks talking about every birth control available to man. You know, they don't really teach abstinence. The problem is they're getting some of this money. In fact, in the state of Michigan, which is my home state, the Michigan Abstinence Project spent $1 million of abstinence money putting billboards all over, mostly Detroit, but around the state saying this: I have better things to do with my life than make babies. That was their abstinence education. It is a travesty. And what my ministry is trying to do is to say, you know what, if the money is there, if your community has the money for abstinence education, let's do it right. And there are a lot of ways we do it right. We need to train peers to reach their peers. I have a tremendous peer education program. We need to make sure the school's curriculum is correct. But one of the things that I firmly believe is that there needs to come a time in the high school experience of every student where they all hear the message at the same time in a way that's very powerful. That means throw them in a gymnasium. You know, because if you're just teaching 9th graders in their health class, that 9th grade girl is not dating a 9th grade boy. She's dating a senior, and he was not in that class and he didn't hear it. But when I've got them all together in a gym, they hear a powerful message all at once, all together, that they can't escape from. I tell people that travel with me, one of the funnest things to watch is you watch a high school kids pile into a gym, and you know what it's like. They're all, I'm cool, we're going to talk about sex, and you see the boys and the girls like leeching onto each other. They're like, and I said, 10 minutes into my talk, separation is taking place. You know, she's like, I think I'll sit over here. You know, and it's just fun to watch an entire audience of students change. And when you can hit a city that way, when you can say, you know, I'll have kids, I'll be in like I was in Jackson, Tennessee, and I'm in one high school, and they say, are you going over to South High School? I said, I'll be there in about 2 hours. Good, because my boyfriend goes there, and he better be in that assembly. The entire community has heard it together, which causes the parents to come out, which it really lights a fire for the kids to begin to think about these choices.
What are one of the things that you start off with in your talks that gets their attention? Because kids can turn you out, you know, turn you off pretty quick.
Well, and like I shared at the beginning, too, I didn't come here to choose for you. I can't go on your dates with you. I don't have time. You can do whatever you want. My goal is that you choose. And then we talk about the physical and the emotional consequences of sex. And one of the things I say is that their #1 fear still is what? What's the biggest fear of teens having sex?
Most of them pregnancy.
Pregnancy is the biggest fear. I'm like, I got a news flash for you. Pregnancy is not a disease. It's survivable. You can actually live through it. I mean, I've lived through it 3 times now, a few extra pounds here and there. It hasn't killed me yet. And yet we have girls scared of pregnancy. Our teenage girls have a 4 times greater risk of contracting a disease than they ever have of being pregnant. Pregnant teenage girls today are carrying, on average, 2.3 sexually transmitted diseases. Not 1, not 2, most of them 3 or more. But they weren't worried about getting pregnant or about getting a disease. They were worried about getting pregnant. Right. In fact, most of the girls will come and say to me, every school, I'm not kidding you, every school, I'll have a girl say this to me, well, my mom found out I was having sex, and so she put me on the pill. Or Norplant or Depo. What is that protecting that girl from? Birth control protects from pregnancy. That drug, that hormone that we've given this girl has just made her 10 times more likely to contract a disease than if she were not taking it. This girl is going to end up sterile or dead. No, thanks, Mom. Glad you cared. You know, I mean, pregnancy is not the worst thing. And I tell kids, I can walk you through an unplanned pregnancy. We can walk you through that. The rest of this is horribly, horribly devastating, and primarily to girls. That's the other thing we're not communicating clearly. In fact, almost every STD, most of them have no symptoms. Kids don't know they have them unless they're being tested, and they're not being tested because, of course, it's not going to happen to them. I mean, if there's a sexually active teenager listening today, let me tell you something I know about you. You actually believe that if you get up the next morning and herpes isn't tattooed to your forehead, you don't have a disease. Right? I mean, if I can't see it, feel it, touch it, I don't have it. If I had a disease, I would know. My nose would turn purple, my ears would be red, something would burn, I would know. No, you wouldn't. The only way you'd know is if you got tested. They don't get tested because they're not sick. They're passing disease like wildfire, and the damage is being done mostly to women. Girls will pay a higher price every single time. I tell kids, in case you missed this in 6th grade human reproduction and anatomy, we're different. You know, boys' and girls' bodies are not the same. Typically, some of them are looking confused and I have to go, did I need the charts? Remember that? Women have an open sexual system. Men have a closed sexual system. Women are easier to infect, easier to damage. Our girls need to understand that. They have more to lose. And he can say all the words, you know, I love you. Everybody else, I can't live without it. Honey, at the end of the day, he's got a lot less to lose than you do.
You appreciate someone with a message like this. I do. I bless you and I thank you, Pam. And I say to all of you, if you'd like to get Pam, tell us how we can find you on the website. If you wanted to come to your area, she's got others who work with her in their group to help communicate the truth. And they can come, they can take your whole city. You have the curriculums and even funds a lot of times set aside to help these kind of programs come into your schools. Pam, how do they find you?
You can, best and easiest way is to go to the World Wide Web, and it's just www.pamstenzel.com. And I know that your office as well here, your people here would be glad to remind them and help them get in touch with us. But on the website, there's all of that information. We have curriculum for churches as well as curriculum for the public school, and they can get in touch with us.
She has the, like she said, the tapes and curriculum available for the church that will have a lot of the spiritual lessons and emphasis that they are not able to use in the schools, whereas they still give the information that's vitally important. So she has the balanced program that will fit in because she loves people. She's not trying to promote her particular systems of beliefs. She loves children. She loves kids. She wants to help others. And that's what she's going to do. So if you'd like to get a hold of her, there is her email address. You can contact her. I hope if you can get her to come, she'll be a blessing to you. And, you know, Pam, you talked about how much you liked what we're doing in drilling water wells and talked about the foolishness you saw in Africa. How much money did we spend to do what over there when we could have given them water?
$3 million we spent to send 300 million condoms to Kenya. And I was in Nairobi just about 2 months ago. And the people of Nairobi, the church of Nairobi was like, think of what we could have done. Think of the water we could have given our children, the medicines for disease. And we spent $3 million shipping a bunch of condoms to Kenya. It's a travesty.
It is. And I want to show you what we can do in a positive way. Watch this with your heart, would you? Because we can make a difference. We can save lives. And here's how.
This is pretty serious here because it's in this very area right here where the cholera has been detected.
Last year, Life Outreach reported on a very serious epidemic spreading throughout southern Africa. Cholera, a deadly waterborne disease, was infecting thousands and killing hundreds of innocent people as it contaminated their only available water supplies.
They're aware that people have died as a result of the disease, but they literally have nowhere else to go.
Emergency clinics were set up to combat this disease, which sometimes results in death within 3 to 4 hours.
They start vomiting, collapsing, falling down, sometimes fainted and died.
But more than the numbers came the personal stories, such as this family of 4 children who had recently lost their father due to cholera. Their story demonstrates that those infected are not the only victims of this life-depriving disease.
If you wanted to eat food, you said, Father, Father, I'm hungry. And Father brought us some small food. But that is not working.
Even more tragic, because of a lack of uncontaminated water, these children were still having to collect from the same water source from which their father first contracted the disease. In order to help stop the spread of cholera and to save lives, Life Outreach responded by drilling water wells throughout the region. These water wells help to bring to schools and villages fresh, clean water that will last a lifetime.
See, this is a miracle here to have the water. This is the first, and we drilled this well close to a place where the kids come to school. And one of the reasons we put this well here first was because there was a cholera epidemic here. And now we've given them clean water. And I mean, this is just beautiful, fresh, clean water.
However, there are thousands of other villages still in need of our help. Predictions are that the cholera will return this year at even greater epidemic proportions if the people are not provided with fresh, clean water.
And that is what I'm going to ask you to do. To give more than a cup of water, which Jesus says is so important that if you give it, you'd not lose your reward. And that's certainly not a mere reference to material gain, but rather just the blessings of knowing you're giving life. We can drill a freshwater well, steel case it, give them a manual pump that a child can operate, like the one you saw Betty pumping a moment ago herself. We can give them that, a well for life in any village, community, or population area, and we can drill the well for an average of $3,600 per well. That includes the casing, the pump, everything associated with it. Would you help us drill this year 150 water wells? Would you drill one of them? Could you, your business, you personally, you as an individual or couple, give $3,600? We're going to send to those of you who will drill a well or to your church. We have churches who are drilling wells. Wonderful mission project. We have churches who are drilling a well a month. We've got businesses that are drilling a well a month. We're going to send this beautiful bronze, just a cup of water in his name, a cup of water in my name. That is a beautiful bronze of a child, an older child pumping water, and the younger child getting it. And that's precisely what we're doing. I want to ask you to consider giving a well. And then I want to encourage you to do whatever you can. Think about this. A gift of $36 will provide 10 people water for the rest of their life. We've pretty well divided this out on the average, and that's exactly what that gift will do. Where better could you put $36 or $72 than to give 10 or 20 people water for the rest of their life? Would you consider now dialing that number? Would you take your bank card and use it like it's a check? Would you call and say, I want to give life, here is my gift? A gift of $144 will give 40 people water for the rest of their life. Betty published a book a year ago, and if you can hold that up just a little, the painting is actually here behind us. But this is a print of the painting, Women at the Well, that was the cover of Betty's book by that title, which Tyndall House has now gotten the rights to and will be releasing it nationwide. It is a devotional book, but this is an original painting that we have made a print from, and we're going to send it to those of you in a print who will make a $144 gift. If you'd like to have a canvas of it, and many people want it in a canvas, which is like the original that hangs here in the studio, we're going to send it to those of you who will make gifts of $1,200. 3 of you doing that, and we've got a well. But at whatever level you can help, remember, $36, 10 people water for the rest of their life. Whatever you can do, please make that life-giving, life-saving call. There are 400 million people in Africa alone who do not have access to clean drinking water. Would you change that for 10 or 20 or 40 people? Would you change it for an entire village? Whatever you can do, please do it. Jesus says, if you just give a cup of water in my name, you will be blessed, and you will be a blessing. Please make the call. Use your bank card. If you plan to mail your gift, make the check to Life, address the envelope to Life, but please be kind enough to call us now and tell us you're addressing the envelope and what you're sending. Would you do that? Because we count on you. We depend on you. Thank you so much for making that call.
Every 15 seconds, a child dies. More than 5,000 every day, all because of a lack of clean drinking water. Mission Water for Life is an all-out effort on the part of Life Outreach to drill 150 new water wells this year in Southern Africa. Your gift of $36 will help provide clean drinking water for 10 people. A gift of $72 will help provide for 20 people. And a gift of $144 will help provide fresh, clean, uncontaminated water for 40 people for a lifetime. With your gift of $144 or more, we would like to send you a limited edition numbered print of the beautiful painting titled Women at the Well. This original work of art, created for Betty Robison, captures in warm and living color the moving scene of two women drawing water from a well, symbolizing the living water of our Lord and Savior. And with your gift of $1,200 or more to purchase the additional water drilling rig, you may request the Women at the Well custom canvas as our gift to you. Finally, with a gift of $3,600, you can help sponsor a complete well to provide a lifetime of clean water for an entire village. With your gift, be sure to request our newest bronze sculpture titled A Cup of Water in My Name. This beautiful work of art depicts a child drawing life-giving water for another and is a constant reminder to pray for the outreach. Please call, write, or visit us online today.
I do thank all of you for making the call. I hope you wrote the number down. Sometimes so many call at once you could get a busy, but be persistent. Write the number down and call until you get through, and please give life. That's what you'll be doing. If you want to get a hold of Pam Stenzel, we'll give you her address. We've got it in the phone center. We'll put it back up on the screen, the email address. Get her to come to your area. Some of her co-laborers that work with her, boy, what a message. Don't you appreciate Pam and the wonderful message she's got? Pam, you've got a great gift, and I'll pray God will really bless you. I know He will. You're blessed others. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching Life Today. Thanks for sharing Water for Life. Bless you all.
Tomorrow on Life Today, establishing a genuine relationship with God with Bishop T.D. Jakes. Life Today with James Robison is made possible only through the financial support of its viewers and the supporters of Life Outreach International. Upon receipt of sufficient funds for specified projects, support will be used for television broadcasts and equally important outreaches of life.
Seek the full fruits of nature. Find that which is good and pure. And if you want to know the meaning of life, look it up in the dictionary. Nestle yogurt. Yum! Yum!
Think. Yellow. See. Blue. Imagine.
Yellow.
Feel.
Blue.
Want.
Yellow.
Meeting. Seriously.